Earlier, I spoke to Green MP and the Justice Under-Secretary on issues of sexual violence, Jan Logie. I started by asking if anything in this report surprised her.
To be honest, I was shocked reading it, but not surprised, sadly.
Why is that?
Well, we know that bullying and sexual harassment are a problem right across the country, and that it's more likely that those behaviours happen in competitive, hierarchical workplaces with long hours. So, and to be honest, we've all seen things that have disturbed us.
So have you seen things in Parliament that have disturbed you?
Yeah, of course, we all have.
So what kind of things are you talking about?
From my experience, just of sexist comments of people, I guess, just yelling at people and trying to make other people feel small. And it's not an uncommon dynamic in this place, to be honest.
And a dynamic between who? The examples that you've just cited there that you have borne witness to, between what levels?
So I have seen that between staff, I've seen that between MPs, and I have seen that between MPs and staff.
So it's not a surprise to you. What do you do in those circumstances? Have you intervened?
Well, that's the thing of reading this report. I was really reflecting on whether personally I had done enough. And I, to be honest, reflecting on it, I don't think I stepped in often enough. There were times I have stepped in, but overall, I hope every MP is reading this report and reflecting on what else we need to do to make this different, because everyone deserves to come to work and be safe and productive. And Parliament, we should be leading the example.
So the report suggests a conspiracy of silence, and from what you're saying there, and I'm not wanting to put this all on you, of course,
no.
but you've been part of that conspiracy of silence.
At times, I think, yeah. And I think this is across parties, and nobody, I think we don't want anyone to think this is about everybody else but them. I think this is one of the key things for me in this report is I'm looking forward to all of us coming together and seriously considering these recommendations to make sure that we can fix this problem, because now we've been given the evidence of the scale of it. Because I think sometimes we think if you see something of somebody behaving kind of badly, it's really easy to treat in isolation rather than think about it in that kind of compounding way.
So, several times in this report, it refers to the fact that people told Debbie Francis, the investigator, that a number of people know the names of who the bullies are. Everybody knows who their harassers are. They are well known. So, to put it bluntly, do you know who the gropers and predators are? Do you have a fair idea?
To be honest about that specific point, I don't. There are rumours circulate around Parliament, but which is also one of the dodgy dynamics about Parliament, is that these rumours circulate. But rumours can also be used as tools to try and undermine people. So I don't know who those people are, and particularly when they're talking about predatory behaviour, for me there's very clear lines around intervention.
Okay, so if we can look at perhaps some of the most serious allegations here. 14 cases where people say they have been sexually assaulted during the course of their parliamentary work. Now, given what you know about sexual assault and the barriers to reporting, how likely is this to be an underestimate?
Well, chances are that it is. And I do just want to specifically really acknowledge those people for coming forward and sharing their story to give us the opportunity to fix this, because every time somebody does that they'll be having to recall it all, and that takes a toll. And I think this really puts a huge onus on us across Parliament to make sure we turn this around and stop this happening to anyone else.
But do you actually think that's going to happen? Because we have seen examples where we know women have made allegations and people are very quick to deny, to minimise, to diminish, and in some cases to cover up.
Yeah. That's rape culture, and I think there's been an acknowledgement of the barriers to reporting and an acknowledgement of or recommendations that provide us with pathways around that, so that there'd be that independent complaints line, that there's also an external investigatory body, that there's mechanisms for reporting into parties, and I really hope that we do consider all of those things really seriously, because to give people the confidence that their disclosure is going to result in action and the protection, that's not business as usual.
Is there rape culture within the walls of Parliament?
There's rape culture everywhere in New Zealand. You know, we talk about this a lot, about how there's victim blaming in really subtle ways, and it takes a lot of work to work through some of those ideas to get them out of our thinking. So of course it's present.
There was some particularly disturbing details included in the report where there are three incidents which were disclosed, which Debbie Francis says displayed a multi-year pattern of predatory behaviour.
Yeah.
What should happen now about this? Because potentially the perpetrator is still in your midst.
I know, which is a really disturbing thought, or to have that knowledge. And I understand that it was really important that people were able to report confidentially, so that they had the confidence to share this information, so that we could get the scale of this problem. And what happens now, there are the recommendations, and whether any of those people, I dare say they're watching for our responses to consider whether they want to take that further, and I hope we all respond in a way that gives them that confidence to take it further.
But what if that doesn't happen? Then you still have a predator somewhere.
Exactly, and I think the recommendations help us look at what are our options in terms of taking our responsibility around the Health and Safety Act of ensuring people have got a safe work environment, if in the absence of a complaint.
And that's Green MP Jan Logie. Now, we did contact the police to ask if they were taking any further action as a result of the report. They've responded by saying that the report notes that several respondents were provided with details of police adult sexual assault investigators during the course of the review. The police will not confirm or discuss any matters which may have been raised with us as a result of the review process, given our obligations to individuals who may wish to contact us. We encourage anyone who wishes to discuss matters of concern with the police to contact us. You will be treated professionally and with empathy while we assess any information which may be provided, and that is from the police.